listening to Opinions and Beer.
Stone Cold Steve Austin knows that the Opinions and Beer podcast exists in this world. And opinions and beer. Two guys and another guy will never happen again. Yeah, Pirates they made that entryway to democracy, probably.
Absolutely, they did.
Which is strange. You always hear that, the statements about, well, this country was founded as a republic. So
yeah, right.
So what?
So here's a piece of history for you.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in the United States, 49 states out of 50, their history of the United States, or the history of the United States, starts with Jamestown and Plymouth Rock.
Yeah.
Right? Florida is the only state that teaches the American history, or the history of the United States, or the history of North America actually starts in 1565.
Yeah.
The Spanish are here for almost 100 years before Jamestown and Plymouth Rock.
We talked about this a year. So we do basically once a year, or we pick a month out of the year to talk about history. Literally last year, same time, we were just talking about how Spain was basically conquered Florida, and they ended up selling Florida. Did they sell Florida? Or I know they basically stole. They kind of stole Florida from the local Native Americans there.
True.
And then they
sold the rest of the Europeans.
They sold Florida from underneath that tribe, which in that episode I said that tribe is descendants of Atlanteans. May not be real. I'm just saying. I believe it. I believe that that tribe was descendants of Atlanteans. That tribe they ended up having to go and join the Trail of Tears. They went over to Oklahoma, and actually because Spain, they sold that tribe slaves, and the slaves traveled with them, and the African Americans from that tribe would go on to make Black Wall Street. So I always thought that was interesting.
The Portuguese are the ones that really started the slave trade.
Yes,
in the world.
That's what we talked about too. We talked about that. We talked about all that last year.
The Spanish were more open, and were not.
Yeah.
They were not fully slave traders.
Yeah.
But there are stories of when the Quakers came here from Europe, in the 1600s. And St. Augustine had already been here since 1565. So the Quakers come here and the Puritans come here. There are now stories that they had black slaves with them when they came here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Spanish were different about their acceptance of slaves, or the way they treated their slaves, especially after the British had their 13 colonies. But Florida became the 14th and 15th colony of the British Empire. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all.
1763, the Spanish make a deal with the British, and the British now own La Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just prior to the American Revolution. So the British have La Florida. They have it until the 1790 something. I don't remember the exact date. But when the British take over Florida, picture a map of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the armpit of Florida is in the Gulf of Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Draw a diagonal line from the armpit up to about where Jacksonville is. That line divided Florida into two sections, two territories. The territory from the line across the Panhandle, which included some parts of Georgia and Alabama, was the 14th colony of Great Britain, and the line coming south through Florida was the 15th colony of Great Britain. And many of the Tories, the supporters of King George during the American Revolution, ran away from the colonies and came to Florida, where they were safe and protected.
Yeah, they don't teach
British,
that in school.
No, they don't.
Man, that's cool.
No, you don't learn these things in school, because everybody believes. We tell people here in St. Augustine, tourists that come here, everybody believes that the first Thanksgiving was sweet potatoes and turkey and corn and Indians sitting together. And
with pilgrims.
in reality, the first Thanksgiving was the Spanish here in 1565, eating oysters, shellfish, and fish, swamp cabbage, and other things, pine nuts, and everything else that the Indians already knew how to take care of here.
That doesn't seem kosher.
Yeah, not kosher at all.
It's not kosher, bro.
Not at all. So the Florida history really does start because of pirates. But so here's a thought for you. I'll share it with you and then you think about it. You don't have to agree, you don't have to disagree, but it's something that I've thought of over my time here, 16, 17 years doing pirate history. So let's step back. When you were in high school, do you remember, did either of you go to college?
I went to some college.
I did not.
Do you remember studying Greek and Roman mythology?
Kind of.
What was the downfall of the gods of Greek and Roman mythology?
People. I don't know. What was
Their love of human?
You're half right, but what was it from the people that caused the downfall? The downfall was the people realized they did not need the gods to control their lives.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Keep that thought in mind. Who were the controlling factors of all of Europe? Royalty.
Royalty.
Yeah.
What did the pirates teach everybody here?
They don't need royalty.
those royal
Royalty is
families to
survive.
teach you how to run your life and tell you what you can do.
Yeah.
The pirates came here and created a democracy on their ship, and that democracy bled over that all you needed to do was be honest and respectful to a point,
Yeah.
and agree that you had a voice in your destiny. That's what pirate lore is all about. You had
Absolutely.
a voice in your destiny.
Yeah.
And because of that, the downfall of all of Europe's royal families started. It was the royal families who controlled the navies that hated the pirates.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can't find many of the people that were at the seaports here that hated the pirates, because the pirates didn't attack all the common folk. They only attacked the government.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. I think it's the second Pirate of the Caribbean movie. Remember they're singing the pirate anthem all together.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the third one.
Is it the third one?
Yeah.
And they're lining these people up and hanging them. None of those people that were being hanged were pirates. They
Yeah,
were
they're
all pirate
associated with pirates.
sympathizers. What's that?
Associated, yeah, sympathizer.
They were sympathizers because the British especially, but the French and the Spanish did it too. They gave their military carte blanche to remove anybody that was a pirate sympathizer.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's dark, man. Like, and just like this movie showed, you got like women and children being murdered or hung because they know pirates, just because they knew pirates.
Well, they end that segment that starts the movie with that boy who's probably 9, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, they need a
And they hang him.
stand.
I mean, they don't show the hanging of it, which
Thank
probably
God.
would have gotten all kinds of trouble, but so literally I tell people, in my opinion, I'm not telling you this is hard written fact, but in my opinion, the pirates taught people the same idea that the people of the Roman and Greek mythology had back hundreds of years earlier. You do not need people, you do not need entitled people to tell you how to run your life. And so let me really stick my neck out now, okay?
Oh yeah.
What's going on now?
Yeah, I mean,
Modern
like,
day time.
you could be referring to so many things, like the
We do
racial
not-
stuff
we
or
do-
the.
I have friends of all races and nationalities. I'm
Yeah.
sure you do too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm sure you have conversations with them.
Yeah.
The only ones trying to tell everybody what to do are the entitled royal families of the country.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know
And-
exactly what you mean.
And that pirate lesson that we learned from the golden age of piracy, I think stands strong now.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
especially
And
now. even.
everything I've told you now could probably blow me out of the water because some people may not agree with my opinion, but I'll preface it by saying this. Almost everything about history is supposition.
Yeah,
We don't know 100% how everything was back then.
we can just
We-
conclude our own, make our own
We have to
conclusions.
come up with our own conclusion. So this is my personal conclusion. People are free to agree with it or not agree with it. But I believe that pirate history is probably just as important as any other history in our country
Absolutely.
because of everything that we know about the pirates. They brought commerce to the seaports. They brought money to the seaports.
Yeah.
They didn't go bury it, by the way. There's no such thing as real pirate buried treasure.
Yeah, like
They brought that
William
money.
Kidd did it just one time, and it was in one location. It was like one chest, one location, one time, and it became a pirate trip. Yeah,
And it's still to this day never been found. You said
Yeah.
William Kidd, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a conspiracy theory where that money actually went.
yeah. People even think it's on like Long Island and stuff like that. You know?
Gardner Island in New York. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a television show on the History Channel called America Unearthed.
Yeah,
The host of the show is Scott Walter. He came to the Pirate Museum to do his story on Captain William Kidd.
yeah,
And we had 2 days to talk about the story, and I had already concluded my own self that the treasure of Captain William Kidd just didn't exist because, pardon me, I find it hard to believe that a treasure that size that was buried in 1699, which would be 320 years ago,
yeah.
I find it hard to believe that in a place like New York, with all those people, that nobody's found it.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
So
I agree.
something else happened to it. And
yeah.
Yeah.
It could be any island, like, you know, and it's only really, I guess, like, I don't know. I want to say it's actual factual knowledge that he buried a chest, but that could be just a legend as well. And there was never a chest.
He buried it
ever.
so good.
Yeah.
He was the best barrier in the world.
Yeah.
he buried it too deep.
He buried
Well-
it too deep.
But
6 feet.
there's a conspiracy theory about a family that did not have lots of money at the turn of the century 1700, and then all of a sudden at the turn of the century 1700 they had a group of money and were very, 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 very wealthy,
Oh.
and
Damn,
they're
it's not family.
they're actually documented as having a hand in turning Captain Kidd over to the authorities in Boston. So if they turned him over, maybe they took his treasure.
Yeah. If they knew, if they had a hand.
But since none of the three of us were there in 1699 when it happened, and the treasure's never been found, we can only take some of these pieces of information we have and conclude that maybe it's right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask many things, but do you have a favorite Jolly Rogers of all the actual historical Jolly Rogers that was known that's associated with each captain? Do you have one that sticks out to you that you're more favorable than others?
Yeah, I like the one of Bartholomew Roberts.
Yeah, wait, which one? Yeah, see, only I know.
All right, good. The
that.
one of Bartholomew Roberts that I like has a skeleton and a pirate and a symbol in between with their hand out.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like he's greedy. That was like his dictation of his little speech about a short life and a merry one. And I guess I will greet this pirate life with like a friend, you know, and stuff like that.
And so I add one more thought to it when I tell people about that, because we have a replica of that flag in our museum.
Yeah,
So I tell everybody that I believe that based on his words about life, I believe that what do you think the symbol is in between the two of them?
I want to say it's like a wine glass, isn't it?
I think it's a timepiece. I think it's a sand glass or an hourglass.
Yeah.
And so, based on what I think it is, I tell everybody that based on Bartholomew Roberts' words, a pirate and a skeleton and the time glass in between, there's not much time between life and death.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That's
like
solid.
life and death both holding the.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And I'm looking at it here now. It is a time glass.
Time glass. Yeah.
That's my
and
interpretation of what that flag is, based on what I know his words were and how he believed, and that's my interpretation of his
I think
flag.
that's spot on.
People should be more pirate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're more pirate and you drink rum or beer, you also can become more tolerant.
Yeah.
Now Keenan over here was telling me that pirates didn't drink beer. Is that true?
Well, what I said, to not put a foot in my mouth, I'm sure they drank plenty of ale and such at the taverns, but they did not have a stock of beer on their ships.
They didn't keep beer on board their ships, as far as we know. It's possible, but beer was way different back then, and everybody drank warm beer. I can't imagine drinking warm beer.
No.
There's some that it's best served warm. You know, like
True.
ale. Speaking of, they go back. I think that's one of them. You know,
But you know, they didn't. In most cases, they didn't drink straight rum on board their ships either.
yeah, they drink grog, right?
They drank grog. So, because we deal with children, I have to come up with ways to explain certain things. So let me, if you want, would you explain what I think, how I explain grog to children?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds amusing.
So on board a ship, they would have barrels of water. But water, when it sits in a barrel, after days becomes stagnant. And if you drink it, you could be sick or die. Yes, you agree?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they got the wise idea that they could extend the life of the water by mixing rum in it. Grog actually, officially, historically, is only 4 ingredients. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 parts weak, 3 parts strong, 2 parts sweet, 1 part sour. That's the official ingredients of grog. Weak, strong, sweet, sour. 4 parts weak was water. 3 parts strong was rum. 2 parts sweet was whatever sugar they had, and in many cases, molasses.
Yeah.
And 1 part sour, which was citrus.
Keep hearing
So,
about molasses, man.
To explain it to the children, I say we're on a voyage. We have 4 barrels of water and 3 barrels of rum. Water is going to go bad in 3 days, and we have a 7-day trip. What are we going to do? We're going to mix the water and the rum together. How many barrels of drinking fluid do we have now? 7. But water and rum taste terrible together. So we got to add something to it. So in the hold, we have 2 barrels of sugarcane and molasses. We can't eat or drink sugarcane and molasses, but if we mix the 2 barrels into what we have, it'll sweeten the drink. What do we have now for drinking fluid? 9 barrels of drinking fluid. But it's too sweet, and we need to cut it a bit, and we need the vitamins. So let's put some citrus in it, and we got a barrel of oranges and limes down below deck. Let's cut them up, smash them up, and throw it into the thing. We now have 10 barrels of drinking fluid that will last us the 7 to 10 day voyage. Whereas before we had 3 barrels of rum, 4 barrels of water, 2 barrels of sweetener that you can't drink this rum straight because we don't want everybody being drunk, and you can't drink the citrus. So mixing it all together gives us the life-saving liquid we need to survive this trip. So that's how I explain it to the school children as far as grog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I want you to know that our plan going forward is to make a beer based off every guest that we have. So I'm gonna make the groggiest fucking beer in the world.
No, don't. It'll be horrible, bro. Don't do that.
Citrus. I got it already. It's already brewing in my brain. Citrus, molasses. It's gonna be crazy.
All right, okay.
Very groggy
All right,
beer.
we can like take inspirations and make a good beer just off of citrus and molasses. But like, if you literally try to recreate grog,
No, I'm
that'll
saying
just be
a
grog,
beer,
not beer.
a beer grog, a beer.
yeah,
grog.
a groggy beer. This shit will make you groggy, bro.
So we have a pepper here in St. Augustine, and it grows here called a daddle pepper. And I'm trying to get some people to make a daddle pepper beer.
Oh,
It's pretty
yeah.
spicy. It's pretty spicy. I've had a pepper beer out of Cave Creek. You ever had
yeah.
chili beer out of Cave Creek?
Yeah,
Yeah. I've had a chili
I've,
beer.
I've had a solid ghost pepper stout that was really good.
Really? I've not tried that. I've not even
Oh
heard
yeah,
of that.
they make a ghost pepper stout somewhere. It's one of these breweries in Texas. I can't remember which one it was, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Was it really hot?
And like, spicy beer is so weird. It's just like it tingles your tongue so much. You know, it's not like eating spicy food. But
this particular because most of the time you're right. I don't really like some of these. I don't like jalapeno spice in the beer, but for some reason the ghost pepper, the flavor isn't really there. It's all just like that weird. This
it's like
burn.
a Taco Bell
It's
made
this
of beer.
burn with this dark stout, and it was just super good.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not a dark beer drinker, but I would probably try it only because I wanted to see how the pepper was. Because about once a year I have a huge backyard. I have a backyard that's about half the size of a football field.
Oh damn! Yeah.
I have a fire pit, and I invite all my friends to come over. My wife has a she shed, which is mostly her throne to sit above the fire and dictate to everybody.
Cracker.
But we once in a while we'll do a chili thing, and I'll invite everybody to make their favorite chili. Well, I had a friend of mine made some chili, and nobody else would eat it. He wouldn't even eat it. He had me try it, and I put 3 mouthfuls in before he told me it was a ghost pepper chili. Oh my God, I was miserable for the night.
For the night.
There wasn't enough anything to take the heat off. But we use daddle pepper here. Daddle pepper is a Menorcan thing. The Menorcans were slaves south here and brought over by plantation owners. And then when the plantations died, the plantation owners abandoned the slaves, and they petitioned to the governor of St. Augustine to come and be a part of St. Augustine. So we've had Menorcans here for 250, 300 years. Their food was spicy. Menorca is a part of Spain, and so their food is spicy. And this daddle pepper only grows in St. Augustine. For some reason, people have taken the daddle pepper plant back to other parts of the country, and it never survives. Don't know why, but it never survives.
Yeah, it is
So you
weird.
come out, I'll introduce you to some daddle pepper food.
Hell
You'll
yeah.
like it because it's
Oh,
sweet
and
hot.
we will definitely come out sometime,
man,
whenever we can.
Man, I had so much to ask you about. We kind of have to. We're kind of gonna have to wrap it up a little bit.
Whatever you want to do.
I hate to
No!
say- I know.
60 more
I
minutes.
know. I know. This is actually. I'll be honest with you.
I didn't ask you half the shit I had
No.
planned.
I'll be honest with you. This is probably one of my favorite. We literally just interviewed like these people and from
Some celebs and
yeah,
shit.
big budget movies and stuff like that. And you so far, you really brought back this that side of me that really loved interviews. I don't know what it is. You're just
I'll give
very.
you a question then. Here's what you can do. He wants to sit for another 60 minutes. You want to cut it.
No, I don't want to cut it short.
But he has to. He has to get home.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we'll go as far as you want. If you want to extend it, I got nothing going on. If you want to extend it, then you can cut it into 2 segments if you want.
Okay, we can extend it. I'm just
Whatever
saying,
you want to do.
I was
I'm
just
the conversation.
I was just putting like a weird like a pause right there just to see where the conversation was.
You guys,
If you
what?
want to keep going,
What
we
time
can.
is it your time? 7:30?
It's 8:36.
Okay, we're only an hour difference then.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Well,
I
if I don't if you got to get home.
No. My kids were brought home. That's why you probably see me leave. I had to go use the restroom and I had to tell someone to bring my kids home. So
how many kids you got?
I have 2. I have 2 children, and I have a 5-year-old and a 11-month-old. and so they had to get brought home, and I don't know. I'm sure my wife is fine with it. She should be good. it's really
So
it's really
we trek on.
it's really
So
just dealing with
here's
the
what you
wife.
do. Show her a picture of me, and she'll be okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, we're talking
But
to this guy.
I'll be honest with you. You know, I admit what I said. You know, I'm realistic with what I said. I really enjoy this conversation with you so far, and obviously we're gonna keep going because you've talked me into it.
Okay, another concern though.
Hey,
our beers
look,
are empty.
I
We gotta
still have
take
3
more.
bottles of. I still have rum.
Oh god, that's so much rum. We're out of beer. We need more beer for this.
More beer.
Yeah, more beer.
I don't have drinking beer. You should have told me to grab drinking beer. I only have review beer.
Oh, okay, fine.
Let me grab that that one beer though. We can share it.
Yeah.
Continue talking.
So in the meantime, so many things I could so I had a whole list of things to ask you about. Like let me look here on it's man like I don't know, I could just touch I just want to I would love to touch on every single pirate, but that'd be ridiculous.
We'd be
Well-
here for hours.
Yeah, but my favorites, like, what do you think about, like, one of my favorites because his whole unlikelihood of being a pirate and is Stede Bonnet. Like, what do you know about Stede Bonnet? What are your thoughts on Stede Bonnet?
I think we refer to him as Stead Bonnet.
Stede Bonnet. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But Steed is okay too. I think he was just a man. He bought a ship and hired a crew and gave them money up front.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, like he had a whole cushion life. He had money, he had the wife, he had the plantation, and he
And
just
you
got
know what?
tired of it all.
Well, his wife was a nag. He needed to
Yeah, I've
get
heard
away-
that too. Yeah.
He wanted to get away from her. So he goes out and he does all of this as a lark, as a rich boy kind of a,
Like
I
a
can do
poser
this.
almost, you know?
and then when he gets caught, he tries to wheedle out of it by telling everybody, well, I was just doing it for fun. And the governor of,
It's like, yeah, that doesn't make it much better, man. You know?
was it the governor of Carolina that he sent?
Yeah,
the letter?
yeah.
Yeah, it was. The governor of Carolina, he sent the letter to and said, look, I'm a man of means. I have money. This was just a lark. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
I should be allowed to go home. And
ignore those ships I
the governor
plundered.
said, tough shit. We're going to hang you. And
Yeah.
they hung him. But he also wasn't very bright, because you know the story that Blackbeard swindled him out of his ship, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And like he basically like I said, he was almost like he really was that century's version of a poser, you know, and he was so happy to be even slightly described as a pirate, and he's living the adventure life, and he's living stories that he read about in his shitty life with his daughter and his nag wife. Or not a daughter. He had a son that died. That's what set it off, you know?
Right.
His son died, and then like the nagging wife, the dead son, he's like, well, fuck all this shit, you know?
Well, he literally is today's version of some of the people that just don't realize there is a consequence for your decision.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like
I mean,
it makes me almost like it breaks my heart, like that he's and like you said, he's not the smartest guy, right? Like it's like he's so dumb that
He let Blackbeard swindle him, and Blackbeard didn't even have to work very hard to swindle him out of his.
Oh yeah,
damn
he
ship.
swindled to begin with. Like I can only imagine that almost any pirate that told him to do anything, but if they acted like they're treating him like he's one of the boys, he'd be down because he's so proud to be one of the boys, you know?
And according to the stories we have in the Pirate Museum, he dressed like a dandy, he dressed like a gentleman, he wore all this finery and everything
yeah,
else.
he's the gentleman
And
pirate.
he was just he was kind of like, trying to think of a good analogy here, but he was kind of like a dressed up dandy in the time of the 1880 gunfighter days.
Yeah, and like, you know, even with the people that love the finer things in life, like Bartholomew Roberts and Calico Jack was called Calico Jack for obvious reasons. You know, even in that time, you know, when they're out and about and they're on the account, you know, they're dressed normal and they're in just whatever rags they have. But he is always trying to look the part, you know.
It's one of the things that I have to tell people, you know, the lace, the fluffers, the ruffles that we wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's two things I love to tell people. Sometimes pirates may have been some of the first cross dressers.
No,
Because
actually, yeah.
What are you
everything they
saying?
wore, they were stealing from other ships.
Yeah. So like,
And
what are
some of the fluff and some
women's
of the
blouses they
ruffles
had
may
to?
have been women's clothing, but they wore it anyway. So it's fun to always tell people it's more fun for me because I have to deal with a whole lot of pirates that are way too macho for their own good.
Yeah, and that's why they got into it because they thought it was macho, and it's like,
Which, when
joke's on you. Here's a woman's blouse.
Yeah.
Now you're more piratey. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just fun to throw it in some of their faces and and really have fun with it. Here's another one for you. I don't know where your research went, and we won't go too far into it.
Yes,
But
I know about it.
pirates actually on board ship married each other.
I was gonna say that. I do know about that.
They had unions. They had what was called an onboard union. So
yeah, it was
let's
so
say
weird.
the
It
two
was
of
almost.
the two of you are good friends. You join a pirate crew together, and you ask the captain to make you a union. It's not because you're going to sleep together in the same hammock or keep each other nice and warm and spoon together.
But
But
it
what it
happened every
means
time.
is,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
what it means is that if one of you dies, the other one gets his portion of the treasure, his portion of the rum, his portion of the money.
Just like a marriage.
It was a financial, like a marriage.
Financial marriage.
So there are so many pirates here that do the pirate thing because they think they can dress up, fondle women, and drink rum and be stupid. And when I tell them, oh yeah, you know, pirates married each other. Oh, that's not true. They didn't do that.
And
Or if they
and like
did.
he said, like sometimes it was just like straight up hashtag besties, sharing all their shit and being just hashtag besties. Sometimes, given the pirate ship, being not too different from like and so a historian even referenced the similarities between jail and a pirate ship, but sometimes they would they slept together. That's goddamn it. I'm trying to beat around the bush. They fucking slept together.
So here's a fun one for you. Think of this. The two most iconic couple pirates in all 5 of the Pirate of the Caribbean movies is the tall, slender guy with the missing eye and the short, bald-haired guy.
Oh
They're
my
the
god,
most
they're like married to each other, like he's talking about.
They're like inseparable.
Yeah,
the entire
because
all 6
they're
movies.
unionated and shit. Like
They
you're talking about.
were probably, but macho guys don't want to hear that. And I have some guys,
Dude, I would love to find out that was like not an accident and like that was Disney's intent on those two, you know?
it would be hilarious to know.
Yeah.
But the best way, or the most fun it is for me, is to find some of the guys that are in the pirate community.
Yeah,
That are the most,
basically, you're talking about like the homophobes. You know?
there you go. I wasn't going to say it, but thank you very much. There you go.
No, we are accepting of all people and fuck homophobes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an interesting, it's a lifestyle. It's an interesting lifestyle back then.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean,
and I
like,
really
they're
believe
revolutionary in so much things, you know, like the a step away from gay marriage, the voting, the democracy, the black captains, the acceptance and equality amongst like freed slaves as ship members, and then like they even some rose up to captains, Black Caesar.
I actually believe that pirate ships, and this is my, again, I'm going to go back to the point that this is my personal belief, my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I believe that pirate crews were some of the least racist groups of people in the world.
absolutely. I believe that as
Because
well.
they were a mix of all nationalities, they were a mix of religions, and some pirate ships, slavery was not a big thing with pirates.
Yeah, no.
There was some, like every group, there's always a group of people that are going to break the bonds and break the norm. But
Yeah, and there's some that sold slaves. They didn't free them or let them join. They just straight up sold them like cargo.
I'm the captain of a ship and you're part of my crew, and we just went through a battle and we lost a third of our crew. And off on the horizon, we see a ship. What better place to get members to join our crew than a slave ship?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I like to, here's what I tell people when I talk about how pirates might have treated slave ships. They would only attack them for two reasons. If the slave ships were on their way back to Europe, they had lots of money on board the ship. That's why they would attack them, because they just sold a crap load of slaves.
Yeah.
But if they were coming this way back to the New World,
They got crew members.
we would attack them, and then I, as the captain, would go below deck and pick out the biggest, the baddest, blackest, the Nubianist, and say, "Hey, you want to be a part of my crew?" And I jokingly tell everybody, how many of those black guys down there would go, "No, I'm enjoying myself. I like being chained up in my own filth. Leave me alone." None of them.
Yeah.
And the minute they
None.
set foot on board that pirate ship, by virtue of the code, they were equal to every man on that ship. All they had to do was work.
Absolutely. Despite anyone's personal opinion of black people, like, "Oh, I think black people are only slaves," or your thought is irrelevant because that black dude has every single right that you have by his presence being here. You know?
Absolutely. And in this world, in modern day time right now, 80% of any person you talk to in this country is the same acceptance. They have the same acceptance of people.
Yeah. Like the racist like as much as racism was talked about, like me personally, like racism's rare. Like, you know, there's like these weird niches of racist groups, but outside of them, like everyone's not racist. You know,
And
we all love
everybody,
everybody.
and it's and love might be part of it, but here's the part I think that's more important, and pirate history teaches us this. The code tells you have a voice, an equal voice in affairs of the moment.
Yeah,
That's the first article. But there were no free rides on a pirate ship. Everybody worked, and if you didn't work, you were ballast. And they didn't need ballast, they'd get rid of it. You basically, if you didn't serve a purpose, and you can go so far as to tell this. You know the part of you know the history of 800 pieces of silver, right?
No.
All right. You're injured. You're hurt.
You're talking about the insurance policy?
Yes.
The pirate insurance?
You lose a fingers, a hand, an arm, an eye, an ear, a leg, a foot.
Yeah,
and
like the old school version of insurance with pirates.
This is workman's compensation. You could receive up to 800 pieces of silver. In the 16 and 1700s, 800 pieces of silver was 60 years worth of wages.
That's a retirement. That's like
a retirement
you lost
program.
something, you know?
That's important for people to understand. Pirates invented workman's compensation.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, just health insurance in general almost.
They took care of their own. So let's go to black sails, because we referred to black sails. And Long John loses a leg. They find a place for him to work on the ship. He's lost a leg. When I talk to the children in the school tours, I ask the children, what's the most ability a man has to have to be a pirate? Many kids get it. You're not answering, so you don't get it yet.
Yeah.
Or what's the most important ability? The ability to fight.
Yeah, ability to fight. Yeah.
That's the ability to be loyal to your crew and fight. If you start to lose limbs, you can't fight. If
You
you
can't fight.
if
You're not
if
helping in the
you're
piracy
not helping the crew.
of the
But
pirates.
the crew's willing to, because there's only 3 ways to leave a crew. Once you sign the code, there's only 3 ways to leave the crew. The first way is death. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
The second way is that the code actually stipulates that nobody can leave the crew until every man in the crew has earned a certain amount of money. And they'll
Absolutely.
document that amount of money in the code, and everybody
Yeah.
agrees to it. And the third way is if you're injured. It's not like it's a poker game where all of us are sitting around playing poker and the guy across the table's won every hand all night and he has all the money and he wants to, oh, it's too late, gotta go home. No, you're gonna sit there and play until everybody gets their money.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. Everybody is equal and nobody's gonna walk away. And it's kind of a secret to be in a pirate code.
Yeah.
So-
'Cause it influences them all to get out there and make the money. You know?
And so there's no free rides.
Yeah.
Injured pirates gain respect because they got themselves injured in battle for their crew. That's loyalty. And
Yeah.
they're rewarded for it and they're to leave. That's the only 3 ways to leave a crew. So pirate lore teaches you democracy, loyalty, taking care of each other.
Yeah.
You have a voice in your own destiny. All these things from pirate history are so important that
And some things they're almost like forgotten about today. Even like they're getting, things are getting so convoluted. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
and that's probably the safest way to say it. My friend, you're being quiet over there in your red hair. Why?
But I don't know. I'm just listening.
He's
I'm
enthralled
listening.
by
I'm
every word you
enthralled.
say.
I'm listening to everything you're saying.
And he's
because-
also trying to be politically correct. Yeah.
No.
No, I'm joking.
Everything about the world is so misconstrued.
Oh yeah, just sides. Everything's about sides. Oh, this
And-
side and that side.
This country has reached a point where we're so evenly divided on almost every subject that we'll never fix it.
Oh yeah, like liberal, Republican, black and white, and just
Well,
fucking
no. Remember.
Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.
No, but remember what we talked about earlier on a separate episode. Me and him talked about how multiracialism works, but for some reason multiculturalism just doesn't seem to work out right. Why do you think that might be?
I think it's because in both cases, people mix up race and culture.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
I think that
Interesting.
race and culture are misconstrued and mixed up.
Yeah. Well, because when you look at somewhere like this isn't really piratey, but history in general. You look at like somewhere like Rome. Rome had it had African Americans. It was multiracial, and a lot of the even slaves at some point became citizens in Rome. But they were being attacked by other white tribes. The German tribes, or these other tribes. So it wasn't racially a racial incentive to attack somebody. It was just different beliefs in general. It was just this person had this set of rules and culture, and this group had this set of cultures, and these cultures just clashed, and they would fight. You know what I mean?
You're right. You have it. I think that today there's not a lot of acceptance because everybody wants to be right.
Yes.
And
We all want to be right, and it sucks.
you can't be right 100% of the time. It's just not possible.
It's hard.
But 99%, that's doable, right? No.
My dad, I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but my dad used to tell me, want in one hand and shit in another.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I say people that at work all the time.
It's just you the want is the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hand filling up with crap is every day.
Yeah,
The
people
want
shit
is
all
the
the time.
hardest. And it is, it's tough. I'm so into the pirate history that I believe we can learn
Now-
from the pirate history.
Now
from
were the Portuguese
Yeah.
were the Portuguese pirates?
Yeah, of course they're.
No. I'm saying were the Portuguese pirates one of the leading causes of? I know the Portuguese people really started the African-based slavery.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, I believe what happened was, according to my research, basically the Portuguese people who are like these weird, it's like a weird descendants of Rome, because, you know, when Rome fell, they kind of split up into these multi factions, and I feel like, you know, a weird multi faction of Rome became became Portuguese, and they would go on to. Basically, they were going into Africa to get supplies, and they were giving it to I don't know what king it was or what it was, but I know they were giving it to some sort of power, and they basically were running out of supplies, and they just started stealing people and started giving. They just started, and then that was kind of like this cause.
You're almost right.
Okay.
They weren't stealing people.
Okay.
They're being sold people?
The African tribes are all around Africa.
Yeah.
Did the same thing as the Mongols, as the American Indians, Sioux, Apache, whatever. When tribes or groups of people were at war with another group of people, the winners took the losers that were still alive and turned them into servants and slaves.
Yeah.
In Africa, because there were so many tribes, and there was one or two very strong tribes that had all these slaves, they realized that that was a commodity. And it was a commodity to sell these slaves off to the white Europeans. And the white Europeans took total advantage of that and took those slaves and then spread them through the world.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
slaves, human slavery was a commodity, like rum, silver,
Yeah. I mean,
sugarcane.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sugar,
ice,
tobacco.
yes, I mean slavery in general has been around, you know, way prior to this. It was just that for some
Absolutely.
reason the Portuguese they just established this strict African-based slavery where they were only getting, you know, black people from Africa, you know, stuff like that.
Because there was a huge surplus of slaves, because the tribes along the coast, because it said, I've seen a couple of things that show this is true, but it said that white Europeans were not allowed to go past the seaports of the African coast into the countryside. They could only deal with what was there at the seacoast, at the seaports. So what was there at the seaport was this commodity of surplus of slaves. And these Africans wanted to get rid of these slaves. They could, and this is a perfect example of why Pedro Menendez killed all the French pirates here. If you are the leader of a group, you want to make sure that you have enough food and supplies for your people. But if you start to take on prisoners and slaves, how do you feed them too and still keep your people happy?
Yeah, you can't.
You
just
get rid of them
collect them
by
and then
selling them
sell
and trading them off.
Yeah.
Pedro Menendez, when he did what he did, he had the choice to keep 200 French pirates and allow them to be part of his crew and join his military, which that would have been 200 more mouths to feed, or get rid of them. So he actually, and this is the fun part of the story of Pedro Menendez and the French pirates,
Yeah.
he gives them the opportunity to join his group. Now they're Protestants, remember this, but they have to convert to Catholicism. Catholicism. They have to become Catholics. But when they become Catholics, they also have to join his military. And he says, you can join my military, you can convert to Catholic, or you can move on. Now they're sitting on the beach, prisoners of the Spanish soldiers.
Yeah.
Their concept of move on means that he's going to let them go free. But in the Catholic Church, move on
means die.
Literally means to go to heaven or hell. And they choose move on because they think he's letting them go free.
Yeah.
So he kills them all because he gave them the choice. He could not feed them unless they worked. And I believe it's the same concept that the Portuguese took advantage of in the African nations. These African kings or leaders, they couldn't keep all these slaves of the tribes they had taken over. They had to do something with them. So what did they do? These stupid white guys come in from Europe, we're going to sell them all. And the Portuguese and the Spanish and the British take them and bring them over to this world. Here's the one thing I argue with everybody on slavery. You can use this if you want. It's my personal opinion, but I like to tell people this. In the timeline of all historical cultures, doesn't matter what culture you want to pick, the Roman Empire, the pagan empire, England, France, Spain, Chinese, Japanese, every culture in their specific timeline has been both the oppressed and the oppressor, the slave and the slaveholder.
We have.
The railroad across this country would have never have been built if it wasn't for Chinese and black. They brought it together in Europe, Utah, and it actually, either today or yesterday, in the last 3 days, the spike of the Trans-Pacific Railroad was hammered into the ground in Utah. The celebration of that, the anniversary of that, was in the last 2 or 3 days.
Oh, wow.
But the Chinese were not slaves, they just weren't treated very good. The blacks were not
just
slaves,
like the Irish, you know.
The Irish, but they weren't slaves when they built the railroad. They just weren't treated well.
Yeah, and they're paid like a ridiculous amount. Whatever. Can't even remember what a ridiculous amount
$1 an hour.
No, it was like a penny an hour.
Oh
It was probably about $5 a day, give or take.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Which is what I get paid now.
And
Good old Little
see-
Caesar. No.
What? You mean they don't pay you in pizza?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but you know, and wasted pizza. Like it's too old to sell. You can
My
eat
hat
it.
keeps falling off. Damn it.
We have a Little Caesars down the road from us, and we'll take advantage of their lunch deal once in a while.
No, I've seen a huge. Is it Little Caesars or the?
Yeah, we're good shit, bro. We make great pizza.
I've seen a huge pizza place in Florida, and I was like, oh my god, it's like the cheap place in my town, but fancy.
Like a fancy Little Caesar.
It's like
So what do you do?
This Little Caesars
you
has
do
a
for
damn
Coca-Cola?
waterfall.
Wait,
Oh,
what do you
what I
say?
do for Coca-Cola? Oh, I am a
Distributor?
Well, no, I'm like a salesman, stalker. I'm like
You're not a taste tester.
No.
No, you don't get paid to drink Coke.
No, I'm pretty sure Coke is poison. But I'm fine
Can't
with
say that, you'll get fired.
No, I'm fine with selling poison to people. It's a very pirate thing to do.
That's my poison right there.
Woo!
Yeah.
And I don't put Coke in my rum. I actually have a very fine collection of rum. Maybe one of these times I'll do a roaming camera and you can see, but I have about 80 or 90 rums in my collection.
Jesus,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice,
and
crazy.
you know, rum's good. I like every hard alcohol. It's like I shouldn't, but I like them straight. It's like, oh, don't you want a mixer or you want to make a mixed drink? No, I just love the taste as is. I don't want.
So here's my philosophy on rum. I have bottles of rum I have some bottles of rum that are $90, $100, $150, $200 a bottle.
Oh damn!
If you come to my house, I'm going to offer you a shot of rum.
Oh my
If
god!
the first words, and depending on how good of friends we become, will depend on how high up the ladder it is.
Oh man, yeah.
But if the first words out of your mouth are, "Sure, I'll have some rum. Can I have some Coke in it?" You're getting fucking Morgan.
You're getting fucking Morgan. Yeah, that fucking that commercial bullshit.
I'm not gonna give you this here. This was a bottle given to me for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
23 it's 23-year-old.
Yeah.
It's about $55 a bottle, give or take over here.
Damn it.
And you drink it straight. You pour it in a small glass and you sip it. You don't shoot it.
Yeah,
It's
just chug it.
It's not fucking tequila.
Yeah.
And you sip it and you enjoy it. And in some cases, I have a huge cigar humidor. I probably have about 300 cigars. You can have a choice of a cigar and a good rum. I have this bottle here.
Right now
here's a rum that I just discovered.
Shipwrecked.
How perfect is that for a pirate?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, that's
right?
fitting as hell. I was shocked to find out that Calico Jack has a rum.
Yes, he does.
It's like commercial shit. Like it's not up there with your.
It's terrible. It's bad.
Oh, I know it is bad. But I was just shocked, like, good for him. Because, dude, that's what Calico Jack wanted more than anything. Like, dude, Calico Jack would be thrilled that there's a rum out there. He just wanted to be famous, known, throw down in history.
There's also a Thomas 2 rum.
Oh, what? Oh, man, I got to try that. Because, like, when I seen Calico Jack, that made me think, like, I wonder what other, like, legit pirates.
Thomas 2 rum is made up in Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, where he's from.
Yep, for where he's from. And the longest time I kept trying to get them to send me a bottle, and they wouldn't send me a bottle. They said, "Oh, you can go to Miami and buy one." And I sent them a letter back, and I said, "I talk about Thomas 2 all the time. I'm not going to buy a fucking bottle of rum down in Miami."
Yeah.
But one of my colleagues in the museum is writing a book about Thomas 2, so we went up there to find out, and they gave him a couple of bottles, and I drank it. I still have it. It's not great.
Is it better than Calico Jack?
It's a cool bottle, but what makes it really cool is that it's sealed with a cork and wax all over the top of the bottle.
Oh, that is cool. Like
in the old way
and all that.
So it's better than Morgan rum, but it's way better than Calico Jack rum.
Yeah.
So, but
now what got you into this museum stuff?
All right. So the man that owns the museum, his name is Pat Croce.
Mm-hmm.
In the 90s, he was one of the owners of the 76ers, the basketball team.
Yeah.
He made his money in sports medicine and sports, but his hobby has always been pirates. And he spent he's made lots and lots of money. He's very well off.
Oh yeah.
He's an amateur magician. He loves magic. And so when he built the museum in St. Augustine, he heard that there was a pirate in St. Augustine that not only was a pirate, but was a professional magician. So I got called up and I was told I have a job. And I took the job and I've been with him ever since.
Oh, nice.
He still messages me on my birthday and lets me know that he still watches what I'm doing. And he's a good friend. He really is. I never ask him for anything. He's got lots of money. He's got a lot of friends. He's got a lot of people that are probably wanting more out of him. I have a job. They pay me. I'm happy.
Yeah, and you're doing like what you love, you know?
And I'm doing what I love. I don't need to take advantage of people that have given me an uplift for what I do.
Absolutely.
I'm happy. I get to talk about pirate history. I get to express my opinion about pirate history. And because I've done appearances on Travel Channel and History Channel and National Geographic and do so much with pirates all over the world, if you don't like my opinion, that's fine. That's okay, because it's history and it's supposition.
Yeah,
and I'm happy with that. I mean, we could argue all the points that we talked about today. There could be people that would listen to what we just talked about today and argue that we're not right.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But were they there to tell me that we're not right?
No,
No, and we weren't either. And it's just like you said, it's our interpretation, our beliefs, our opinions.
Opinions.
And we're very big on our. Sorry, I was drinking beer. We're very big on opinions here.
Very big on opinions. Opinions and beer.
Well, you guys got a good format here. I'd like to help you do more if you want.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we will be coming to see you.
You're awesome. Obviously,
When we save up.
after you leave, we got to review these beers and give them like numbers and stuff.
But what beers do you got to review?
Okay, so actually, because you gave me a great idea of splitting this up in half, on part one, we have the Tangerine Session Ale from Swell Rider, so our D9 Brewing Company, and then our second beer that we're going to be reviewing for part two of this interview is Shake the Frost Session Coffee Ale. It looks just like you, except a skeleton.
It's the skeleton. Yeah.
And where are these two beers from?
Okay, so this one, I fucking don't know. Don't make me lie. Don't make me lie. Dude. This one's from St. Louis, and I think this one might be from St. Louis too. It's like weird. I was gonna get Florida beers, but they didn't have any Florida beers. Or the Florida beers they had was like some weird blackberry trash beer, and I was like, no, I don't want.
NC, what's that? North Carolina. Ooh,
I know,
fitting
North
it is
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. So yeah, so St. Louis, Missouri.
Look at that.
So St. Louis, Missouri for the skeleton beer, and then
And isn't it North Carolina where Blackbeard died?
North Carolina's
Yes, it was.
Swell Rider.
Yeah, so that's very fitting. We he's like, bro, I got some beer with like, I wanted to go with citrusy beer because obviously there's citrusy fruits in the Caribbeans. Makes it like there's a huge like connection there if you you really concentrate.
It was that. Or I was gonna try to find rum aged beer, but
it's
they
really
had
cool.
none.
This
It
brewery
was all whiskey.
is from North
It was all
Carolina.
whiskey.
I have a place here in St. Augustine that makes a wine-based or a rum-based wine now too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like really good.
I've
It's
seen
not
rum.
great,
Yeah,
It's not great.
but
It's okay.
I've seen rum aged beers before. It's just for some reason this store that I went to, I actually crossed state lines for this episode, just to try to get this beer. But when I went there, all they had was the whiskey aged beer, not the rum. And I was like, oh, F whiskey,
F whiskey.
F
So-
this Netherlands.
are you married? Are you both married?
He is not. I am.
single as can be.
He is
Okay,
single.
So if you came out, do you need to bring your family?
Yeah, I would probably have to bring my family.
I don't have family.
Oh my God.
We'll figure out a
I'm
way to come
alone.
out. You know, it would be really cool.
Hmm.
Of course, it might be too soon. Do you know when International Talk Like a Pirate Day is?
When is it?
September 19th.
Dude, that's one day for my birthday. Let's make it happen.
His birthday is September 20th.
20th, yeah.
I was right.
Yeah.
I remembered his birthday.
I'm so glad you can mathematically deduce when one day before my birthday is.
I could probably get you a hotel room or two.
Woo!
Woo!
Hey, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, bro, that's
You bring your cameras, we come out here, you come out here, and we'll have
Oh
some
yeah,
fun.
I might have to adjust.
you're exciting me.
I'll have to adjust some vacation time, but I can make it work because I get 10 days. I get like 10 days vacation. So
It's like I don't get paid vacation. I just have to tell my boss he's not gonna hear from me for a moment.
you're a manager.
Yeah, but
It's like-
I am like not the manager, sir. You know. No, I'll make it happen. You know,
Well-
it'll be all right.
That'd be pretty cool.
So let me tell you this. September 19th is a Sunday this year,
Woo! I like Sunday.
which means that I usually do something that weekend for children. I usually play, we're talking about an outdoor movie. We play an outdoor movie on a big screen for the families and the kids. We're probably going to play Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, good movie.
Great movie. And we'll do that on Friday night. which would be the 17th. But if you guys can figure out a way to come out here around that time frame,
Yes.
if you let me know in advance, far enough in advance that you actually can do it,
Yeah.
I'll set up a couple of time frames where we could go to some of the breweries. And the best time to go to the breweries would be on a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday when they're not busy.
Oh yeah.
So we can go. And then I asked some of my pirates and my crew to join us. So you're surrounded by a bunch of pirates.
crazy.
Dude, you're talking about making my life.
Man.
And we could hang out for the week on that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday
That's
doing
pretty awesome.
with a few pirates on top of everything.
Absolutely.
And
That's
you can do a tour of a couple of the breweries here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so
Um,
excited.
I'll even take you to the distillery that has all the rum. We have a distillery here that I'm good friends with, and they do about 6 different rums.
Oh man,
That's
dude, that's
awesome.
yeah. I know we have like opinions in beer here, but like I do love some rum. And of all the hard, like I love rum and whiskey. It's like whiskey's at the top, but rum's right below it. I don't like tequila at all. And as far as hard alcohols, it's just rum and whiskey. That's all I deal with.
So, do you guys get sponsors for everything you do?
We sometimes we have temporary sponsors. Right now we're sponsored by we have like a promotional thing with Raise Energy where you get like 10% off. And then we do a Shotgun Thumb, which is like a funny sponsor, but it's really cool. They're like a newer company where it's like they have like this thumb where you put on your thumb and you can like shotgun your
Use
beer.
it to stab your beer, to shotgun
it's-
it easier.
So it's not like Target's not sponsoring us. I mean, it's like
We're moving up. We're slowly making notches forward. You know.
Well, it's only we're just in May. If you find a sponsor that might want to get involved with what you're doing,
yeah.
it might pay for. Because if you're going to come out here with your family, you don't want to fly. You're going to probably want to drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The drive time from where you're at in Texas to here is probably
10 hours, 14 hours.
Yeah, we've done it
14
before.
hours.
He's done it more.
I've
than
done
me.
it. I've done it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times now.
because when I drove to Louisiana, New Orleans, Hammond, Louisiana was about 10 hours. So you're probably about 6 to 8 hours over there. So you're about 16 hours away.
Uh,
Are
Well,
you close to? Are
what do
you
I
off
feel-
of I-10? Does I-10 run by you guys?
oh yeah, we literally live on I-10.
Yeah,
All right, so you
I-10
get
is
on
like how
I-10,
we
you're
get
you're
anywhere.
straight shot over.
Exactly. We're literally 15 minutes from Louisiana. So,
Yeah, we're right on top
Okay.
of Louisiana.
Well, if you're 15 minutes from Louisiana, then you're 12 hours away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 13.
Yeah,
Well, if you got
that sounds
kids in the
about
car,
right.
you're gonna have to stop for potty breaks. But
I know it's about 10 hours to Tallahassee, I think.
all right, I'm about 3.5 hours further.
Oh, well, maybe it's not that, because I know in my head it's 14 hours to get to Orlando, and in my head it was 10 hours to get to Tallahassee, and then 4 hours to go down to Orlando. But maybe it's 6 hours to get down to Orlando.
It's about 2.5 to 3 hours from Tallahassee to St. Augustine.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you-
Definitely
Come over.
doable, man.
Doable, man. Woo!
Quite
Would
doable.
I would love to go to
If-
Florida again.
Let me know, and I'll work on hotel rooms, and
Heck
maybe
yeah!
we can figure out how to pay for the hotel rooms with sponsorship.
Heck yeah! If we figure anything out, we'll definitely let you know by at least August. We're
Gonna work on this for
we're
sure.
definitely gonna work on it, try to talk it out, and because obviously we want to get back to some of the stuff, obviously pre-pandemic where we had this whole idea for this show, the traveling show, to mimic, to be like a companion series for the podcast, and so it's definitely a thing that we will be thinking of. Once again, thank you so much for being on the show, though. It's about that time. My wife is blowing my phone up. I can feel the buzzing, and
We've been at this for 2.5 hours.
Well, it's
So-
been a great episode, man. I've had nothing but a blast, and there's like 2,000 things I could continue. I could talk. You have to. When it comes to pirates, you have to eventually tell me to stop. I can keep
No, I
going
understand.
and going and going.
Look, if you want to do this again in another week, if you
Oh,
don't, do you
yeah.
have somebody for the next week or two?
100. We may have like that dude that says Gandhi's an evil person, but then if you want to come on, we can get you on in June probably. I think
Absolutely.
yeah, June would be awesome to have you back on and like just continue this because you really are an awesome person to talk to, and I really love the history that I'm learning. I'm more of learning this. You know, Keenan's the pirate guy.
Like
So-
this whole episode, I've been having to stop myself from interrupting you to just like tell Adam, like, I know what he's talking about.
So
Yeah.
So do me a favor.
yeah.
You want to do something in June, you want to do something in August, even if you can't come in September, then we'll do an online for Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes.
Which, like,
Yes,
dude,
which
that
makes sense.
That sounds like
You know,
a complete
is
failure
it
compared
always-
to being there. We're gonna try and be there.
So is it always in September?
It's always
Yes.
September 19th.
Yes.
Oh, well,
always
then
in
we're gonna
September.
move our pirate month because we made for some reason I made May pirate month. I don't know if like
Let me
pirates.
give you some backstory
Well,
on
May
that.
is my birthday, so you can make May a pirate month, and then September
Oh
a
yeah,
pirate.
well, look.
Actually-
Also, I'm okay with having like maybe 12 pirate months a
Oh
year.
my god.
But anyways, the backstory on that is like I've always adored pirate history. I've done so much research on it, just like I said, like out of fun because I just love the subject, and I almost like petitioned to Adam to have a pirate episode, and he's like, "All right, well, put it together yourself." So I was like, "Well, like I fucking will, goddamn it!"
Well, because it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
I literally tried to
Adam puts together a lot of episodes, so I was like, "Bro, put together a pirate episode." He's like, "No, you do it," and that's when I was
Well,
like,
we're doing a
Will.
we're doing a
Yeah.
Shakespearean party in June. All the
Oh,
girls
yeah?
in my pirate crew want to do something non-pirate, so we're doing a Shakespeare party in June.
"Oh,
But
that's
I'll make
cool."
it with you. I'd like to either have a conversation in the same screen, or meet, or at least have an autograph from Michael Jaleel White.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you can
like,
work
you know,
this out for me,
we seen him online too. We still
I
ain't met
really
the guy.
literally am a huge fan. He's just
Yeah.
I think I've seen every one of his Netflix movies.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
watched some of this, and some of his movies are not big main screen movies. But
Yeah.
he's made some really good ones. He
Oh,
made
yeah.
one that he was a security guard in a sports arena and
Yes.
was protecting his kids.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't remember the name of the
Yes.
movie, but it was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Well-
He seems to be, from everything I've seen
Well,
and read about
he
him.
chooses. So what's crazy? What's crazy about him is he chooses to be in the smaller budget films because he only wants to do movies where he's the star because he turned down Expendables.
Oh, what?
he was-
Really?
Yeah, because like
he was supposed to be
because he could have been a
he was
side
recast.
character, but it's
No,
like,
no, no.
no, I have to be a main
no,
character.
he was recast as Terry Crews. Terry Crews
Yeah,
was
Oh,
I
I-
don't know.
Terry
Terry
Crews.
Crews. I'm friends with Terry Crews.
Yeah, that character was originally given to Michael J. White, but Michael J.
Really?
White said no. He wants like a Jason Statham role. He wants the
main dude,
one of the
yeah.
main
Or
dude
the
role,
main
so.
supporting
But
dude.
almost all of his characters, even Spawn,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a family oriented. His goals
Yes.
were family oriented,
Yeah, his goal was
and I
getting
like
love
that about
back
his
and all that.
characters.
yeah.
So, I mean, if I did a camera scroll, you could see all the. I worked for Buddy Hackett. I worked for Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh yeah.
I've done a few movies, a few TV shows, but comedy clubs is my thing, and I've done comedy for private shows for some pretty big names. Rick
Oh, yeah?
Springfield, you know who he is.
Oh
Rick-
yeah.
Rick Springfield hired me to do magic just for his family one night.
Damn.
I've been very blessed. I'm not a big name. I never will be a big name. I don't care to be a big name, but I've had some great interaction with some great people. I used to play poker. I'm a Pai Gow poker player. I don't know if you know what that is. Pai Gow poker. It's an Oriental poker game.
Absolutely
Vegas-
not.
In Vegas, I used to play Pai Gow poker, and one of my partners to play Pai Gow poker was Richard Roundtree.
Oh shit.
No, not many people know who he was, but that was Shaft.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So I've had good times with some great people, and I enjoy bringing more great people into my circle to do what I do.
Hell yeah.
You guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
now part of my. You guys are now part of my circle.
I'm so honored to be part of your circle,
Yeah, man.
man.
So- You want to do something?
Hell yeah.
Call me up. Send me
Oh
a
yeah,
message.
yeah.
Something.
Well,
Come to
hey,
St.
but,
Augustine.
like, worst case scenario, we definitely will do another episode on screen. But I'm gonna try like hell to move heaven and earth to be there
Yeah.
on September 19th.
Yeah, that'd be
Come
awesome.
here and hang out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I cheers you too, but like our glasses are empty.
We're we're
I'll drink one for
alcoholics.
both of you. You
Yeah.
need to get back and take care of your kids. You need to rest.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And send me a picture of your family.
Well, thank you. I will.
Absolutely.
I'll get him to do
His
it.
family. I don't have family.
I'll add you.
I truly enjoy doing these kind of things because I like to meet people from
Yeah,
all
yeah,
over the
you-
country
You were
who
awesome.
want to have a good
Oh, yeah.
time. And
I've
talk
had
about
so
good
much
things.
enjoyment with this episode.
Like I said,
man.
you know, like I just said, you know, an hour ago.
An hour. It
Like-
has been now.
like I said an hour ago, you know, we had people on recently where it's just kind of like it was really hard to talk to them. They like we knew they were
Hard to
not
be fluid.
well, we knew they were knowledgeable, but they just I feel like they just couldn't speak it all out. You know, they couldn't speak the things out, and it's so easier to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about and they have pride in what they did. And even though some people they seem like they have pride in what they did, they don't talk like they have pride in what they do. But you are very you are like this you're a real pirate to me. You know, you're a fucking pirate, and
Yeah.
and you talk you talk in the way that you live this life, and you're so
Yeah.
knowledgeable about
And
everything about it, and it was
like
really
real,
awesome
real
talking to
talk,
you.
not like Treasure Island talk. You know?
Yeah.
No.
So-
And the accent's real.
Yeah,
Yeah. Straight from St. Augustine. You know?
So thank you again for coming on the show and listening.
Thank you so much. man.
Thank you so much for answering Keenan's call of desperation.
Yeah, with desperation. I desperately need to get the pirate talk out.
Desperately
of my
needed
soul.
a pirate because I tried to get that author, the author of Be a Pirate or whatever from he was featured in that fucking documentary on Netflix. Like he was featured as a professional or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, pirates, blah blah. We're so weak and silly. Let's all be weak and silly. It's like, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. but I still try to get him on because he's was on a Netflix.
He said some things and stuff.
He's on a Netflix documentary. But thankfully you were awesome. You were awesome. I'm so glad that we were able to get you on and talk to you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I guess this is a sign enough, matey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of our pirate episode with Mr. William Mayhem.
Part 2, as in it's
Part
so
2.
fun, we couldn't stop.
We have 2 parts. Today's beer of the day is Shake the Frost Session Coffee Stout. We drank this during part 2 of the episode. This is a session stout. This is 5% alcohol by volume, brewed in St. Louis, Missouri. It was only 5%. It's pretty low
Yeah.
ABV stout,
Yeah, and I
but
felt that. Yeah,
but-
that's a contributing factor to my rating.
it tasted good though.
Yes, but coming off, man, and it's literally just like their rating is getting the unfortunate effect of being like me coming off of a citrus ale to a coffee stout, and I just like I haven't been feeling the coffee thing here lately. Like I'm like tired of it, and it's good, but it's just like I wanted something refreshing. It's just I didn't want that right now. I don't know how to put it. Like I don't want to judge a coffee ale right now.
But that's what we
'Cause I
had
was in
left.
the mood for a
It's what we
citrus.
had. Damn it! It was
So,
good.
Would you give it?
I'd give it a 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. Oh yeah. God damn, it wasn't that bad. I'll give it a 6 even.
Okay, 6.
But
No,
like,
it was good. It was good, but
it wasn't what I wanted right now.
I guess so.
Now its rating
Shake the
it's gonna
frost.
suffer for my shit rating because I drank their beer outside of the mood of a coffee ale or coffee stout beer.
Well, that's just your opinion,
And Pirate Facts.
and that's fine, because all we have here are
Pirate Facts.
my hat kept falling off through the whole damn show,
Yeah, look, I got it for you.
many times.
Pirate Facts and
Opinions.
beer.
And beer.
We are a million and billion.